Hi friends, good evening. We've already done half of the CAT 2008 verbal paper in the morning and now we'll finish up the other half. As I have told you, this verbal paper had 40 questions, but we are only dealing with questions that are more relevant to our current CAT syllabus, right? So we are not doing questions in grammar, we are not doing questions in fill in the blanks. We are mostly focusing on reading comprehension and paragraphs. So before we get in, a quick introduction. Hi, I'm Munira Lokhandwala and I'm Calcutta alumna, a serial 100 percentiler in CAT and a 99 percentiler in GMAT. I also have a CAT verbal book published by Wiley and available on Amazon. You can find me on a lot of Unacademy YouTube live channels. You can also find me on the Unacademy app. So please jaiye Play Store pe search for Unacademy, install the app. Within that, there are numerous courses. You all are looking at CAT preparation. So please enroll for the Plus CAT course and get subscription. As I keep mentioning that we've just started off with a test series, guys. It's a very good test series. So please go and take it. It's free for everyone. So you should use this opportunity to find out your ranking in the country, right? So get subscription. Which subscription to go for, we can decide and talk about it towards the end of the class. You can use the code Munira10 to get a 10% discount, right? So as usual, we'll start off with a puzzle that I gave you all in the last lecture. You have three recurring numbers that are added. So what you have to remember is that if you have a recurring of a single one, right? So the first one is a single recurring. It's 1, 1, 1, 1 and so on. The second is a recurring of 2. So this recurring of 2 and this recurring of 3 will only meet at a recurring of 6. Correct? Because see, if I look at a recurring of 2 only, 1, 2 and 1, 2, 3. करेक्ट सो यहाँ पे 2 आएगा, यहाँ पे 4 आएगा, यहाँ पे 4 आएगा, पर यहाँ पे वापस 2 नहीं आएगा, 3 आएगा. So it's not going to recur in 3 digits, it's not going to recur in 4 digits, guys. It will, because of the recurring of 2 and recurring of 3. You will have a recurring of 6. So this is the first important thing, that you have to think about this with respect to 6 digits. So then it becomes very easy, right? The first one, you just write down the 6 ones. It's a recurring of 6 ones, right? It's 1, 1, 1 infinite times, is 6 ones also infinite times, right? And then if you have a recurring of 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then you have a recurring of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you can just think of all of them as a recurring of 6. And now when you add it up, your last digit is going to be 6. Your second last digit is 1, 1 and 2. So it's 4. Then you will have 4 again. Right? So 4, 4, 6. इस पे ही you can just eliminate. Anyways, ये सब तो out है. Your answer is going to be, oops, 4, 4, 6 is your answer. This is your answer. This is eliminated, right? So let me just erase that so there is no confusion. Here it is. Yeah. So just option elimination, so you get your answer. If you want, you can just wrap it up quickly. Then your this digit, right? Fourth from left is fourth from right. Sorry, is going to be 5, 3, 1, and 1. And then you'll have another 5, and then you'll have a 3. So it is this number recurring, right? Which is your fourth option, not your fifth. Okay. So great. Let's do reading comprehension, guys. Now let's move on. So as I always tell you, CAT 2008 had a lot of good and different reading comprehensions. It was a very well designed verbal section. So please pause it here, read this, pause it here, read this, and then we can look at the questions. Okay. So language is not a cultural artifact that we learn the way we learn to tell time or how the federal government works. Instead, it's a distinct piece of the biological makeup of our brains. Language is a complex, specialized skill which develops in the child spontaneously. किसी को सिखाना नहीं पड़ता, right? Kids automatically pick up language without any effort or instruction. And it's qualitatively the same in every individual. Most of us, right, despite our different IQs, we are all good at communicating in language. And it's distinct from more general abilities to process information or behave intelligently, right? So, however, highly intelligent or lowly intelligent a person is, they can still communicate very easily in language, in their mother tongue. For these reasons, some cognitive scientists have described language as a psychological faculty, a mental organ, a neural system, and a computational module. But I prefer the admittedly quaint term instinct. It conveys the idea that people know how to talk in more or less the same sense that spiders know how to spin webs. Like spiders know it, that's their job, right? Web spinning was not invented by some unsung spider genius and does not depend on having had the right education or on having an aptitude for architecture or the construction trades, right? Every spider spins a web. That's how they live. Rather, spiders spin spider webs because they have spider brains. So we also talk in the human language and mother tongues, right? Because we have human brains. That's what the author is trying to communicate. That it's instinctual. Although there are differences between verb and words, I will encourage you to see language in this way, for it helps to make sense of the phenomena we will explore. Thinking of language as an instinct inverts the popular wisdom. So, popular wisdom is not instinct, right? Especially as it has been passed down in the canon of the humanities and social sciences. Language is no more a cultural invention than is upright posture. Everyone is naturally inclined to to stand straight. It is not a manifestation of a general capacity to use symbols, right? Because even a 3-year-old is a grammatical genius. So a 3-year-old also can do a lot of complicated grammar things like subject, verb, object, but is quite incompetent at the visual arts. So it has nothing to do with symbols or arts, right? And the other staples of the semiotics curriculum. Okay, right. So language is a magnificent ability unique to Homo sapiens among living species. It does not call for sequestering. Sequestering means separating us, right? The study of humans from the domain of biology. For a magnificent ability unique to a particular is far from unique. So he's saying, okay, human beings have this unique thing called language, but other animals also have their own unique thing, right? Having a unique thing is not unique in the animal kingdom. This is a very nice and slightly difficult sentence. Some kinds of bats, so he gives examples, right? What is unique to every animal? So bats, for example, can hone in on flying insects using Doppler sonar. Migratory birds navigate thousands of miles by looking at the position of constellations, right? In nature's talent show, so in nature, every animal has an act. We are simply a species of primate with our own act, an act for communicating information about who did what to whom by modulating the sounds we make when we exhale, the way I'm making right now. Once you begin to look at language not as the ineffable essence, right? Ineffable, something you cannot escape of human uniqueness, but as as a biological adaptation to communicate information. It is no longer as tempting to see language as an insidious shaper of thought. So language doesn't shape thought, language is natural, and we shall see it is not. Moreover, seeing language as one of nature's engineering marvels, an organ with that perfection of structure and co-adaptation, which justly excites our admiration in Darwin's words, gives us a new respect for your ordinary Joe and the much maligned English language or any language. Right? So you just see language as one of nature's engineering marvels, that nature has built this part in us. An organ with perfect structure and co-adaptation. It gives us a new respect for and the much maligned. Okay, the complexity of language from the scientist's point of view is part of our biological birth, right? It is not something that parents teach or something that is taught in school. As Oscar Wilde said, education is an admirable thing, but it is well to remember from time to time that nothing that is worth knowing can be taught. A preschooler's tacit knowledge of grammar is more sophisticated than the thickest style manual or the most state of the art computer language system, and the same applies to all healthy human beings, even the notorious syntax fracturing professional athlete and the so I hope guys we understand what the person is saying here. Okay, even people who break the general sentence structure, they are also better than the computer language system, and the inarticulate teenager who always talks with right, they are also better. Finally, since language is the product of a well engineered biological instinct, we shall see that it is not the nutty barrel of monkeys that entertainer columnists make it out to be. So mostly they're saying language is instinct, language cannot be taught, right? We are all born to communicate with each other. That's what is the main theme of the passage. Now, question 1. According to the passage, which of the following does not stem from popular wisdom on languages? So, popular wisdom, in fact, says that language is a cultural artifact, right? It's a cultural invention. When we go against the popular wisdom, right? We are saying that language is a psychological faculty. यहाँ पे psychological faculty, mental organ, or instinct. That is what uh, thinking of language as an instinct inverts the popular wisdom. This is what goes against popular wisdom. So if I have an option that straight away talks about instinct, I would mark it. But ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, correct? So instinct is not there. ये दोनों तो कट गए, correct? This is popular wisdom. You have to go against it. Unique to Homo sapiens, yes, true, but ये popular wisdom के आसपास it's not talking about. This is what is talking about popular wisdom. Fifth option. Language is learned as we grow, maybe, but mostly we learn it as kids, so it's not something that we keep learning as we grow. Sorry, right? So option 3 is also out. It's option 5 that talks about the popular wisdom के साथ क्या नहीं जाता, psychological faculty goes against it, right? So answer is option 5. Which of the following can be used to replace the spiders know how to spin webs analogy as used by the author? So it's instinct, right? It's what people do without having to teach them. A kitten learning to jump over a wall. Is it a cat's job to jump over a wall? No. This is what a kitten is doing to entertain us. Is the job of a bee to collect nectar? Yes, it is. This is what all bees do. Is the donkey's job carrying a load? No, a donkey. We teach the donkey to carry a load. We teach a dog to protect our property. We teach a horse to run a derby. So all these things are not naturally occurring in animals. Only second option occurs. That is your answer. According to the passage, which of the following is unique to human beings? So वो जो nature talent show में बताया है, right? We are simply with our own act, a knack for communicating information by modulating sounds. So it is the ability to communicate while talking, right? See, ability to communicate information, dolphins also do it. Dogs bark. और ये भी गया ना, all तो नहीं है, so ये 3, 4, 5 तो गया. Now we do use symbols, but the focus is on language, it's on talking, it is not about writing. So that is why, according to the passage, unique thing is that voice, using voice to communicate. Complexity of language cannot be taught by parents or at school to children because children instinct, no, it's instinctive. It is not, see, they don't learn it on their own. If you leave a child alone since his or her birth, they may learn some language, but they may not learn one of our languages, right? कोई नया language they will come up with. Children don't learn it on their own. We adults around them, they imbibe it instinctively. Okay, so this is gone. It's not amenable to teaching. ये तो we grow up and we learn other languages, right? So language is amenable to teaching. So the languages that we don't know as a kid, we grow up and learn. So 3 is also out. 3 is also extreme. Children know language. Come on, this is not true, right? No language better. Children know language pretty well compared to a computer language, right? ये सब है, but not better than their teachers or parents. Children are born with the knowledge of semiotics. ये तो पूरा semiotics is with something else, visual and all that. It is this instinct only, guys. It's the first option. See, first of all, you notice one thing. I knew the answer is first because we're instinct, but it is best to eliminate options, remove all wrong options, and left with a single right one. That's your answer, right? Fifth, which of the following best summarizes the passage? Language is unique to Homo sapiens. Okay, yes, this is true, they are saying, right? But is that the summary of the passage? Is that the main point? And the main point is very clear, okay? Language is instinctual. Okay. So language is neither learnt nor taught. This is also true. So this is true, this is true. Language is neither is not or as it is made out. This is also true. But these are not the main points. These are not the summaries. This is the summary. It's the instinctive ability of human beings. is use of symbols unique to human beings. It's not a use of symbols, we use voice to communicate, right? So 5 is in fact wrong. See, so here 1, 2, 3 are not wrong, but they do not cover the main idea. So having a clear idea about what is the main idea is very important before you tackle main idea questions. Okay, great. Let's look at the next passage. So please read this, read this, and read this. This is, I think, the easiest passage to read. There are some complicated words, but yeah, there's a nice story. When I was little, children were bought two kinds of ice cream, and then both the kinds are described. That is your passage 1, right? Paragraph 1, sorry. Oops. Both the types of ice cream are described. Then, how they were made and how they were eaten. First, you had to trust. And gradually, Granny had no advice to give here. In theory, the pie had been touched, but you cannot isolate. So the first two paragraphs actually just talk about the two kinds of ice cream. What do you discard? What do you keep? Right? Okay. Next. I was fascinated, however, by some of my peers, so children like him, right, whose parents bought them not a 4-cent pie, but two 2-cent ones. These privileged children, so they are privileged because they have two cones, that's why they are privileged, with one cone in their right and one in their left, and expertly moving their head from side to side, they licked first one, then the other. This liturgy, continuous thing, liturgy, seemed to me so sumptuously enviable that many times I asked to be allowed to celebrate it. My elders were inflexible. A 4-cent ice, yes, but 2-cent ones, absolutely no. As anyone can see, it's not the maths or the economy, right? Because if you see 4-cent is equal to 2 cents, so it's not economy, not the maths. It's not diet also, because the 4-cent one had a lot of sugar, had a lot of, in fact, the 2-cent ones were smaller. Nor did hygiene, assuming that in due course the tips of both cones were discarded, whereas you can't discard anything from the pie, right? The pathetic and obviously mendacious means lying, it's not true. Justification was that a boy concerned with both the cones was more inclined to stumble over stones, right? But I knew that there was another secret justification, cruelly pedagogical, means to teach us something, but I was unable to grasp it. Today, I am a citizen and victim of a consumer society, a civilization of excess and waste. I realized that those dear were right. The two instead of one at 4 cents did not signify, economically speaking, any spending, extra spending, fizul kharchi, but symbolically they surely did. So there was some amount of excess in having two cones. And that's why the parents didn't want the excess, the child to, insult poverty, display privilege. Only spoiled children ate two cones, and those children were punished in fairy tales. And parents who encourage this weakness, appropriate to little kids, parvenus are people who come up in society with money and come up very quickly, for bringing up the children in the foolish theatre of I'd like to, but I can't. They were preparing them to turn up at tourist class check-in with a fake Gucci bag bought from a street peddler. So they're preparing their child, right, to not really earn a lot. So when you're saying tourist class check-in, economy check-in with a fake bag, right? So these kids will end up being poor, is what this guy is saying somewhere. Nowadays, the moralist risks seeming at odds with morality. In a world where consumer civilization now wants even adults to be spoiled and promises always something more, from a wristwatch in the detergent to the bogus bonus bangle with the magazine. Like the parents of those ambidextrous, though haath wale gluttons, I so envy, the consumer civilization pretends to give more but actually gives what for 4 cents, what is actually 4 cents. Your throwaway old transistor, right, may work better than the new one, which will last only a year. The new cheap car will not work that well. The morality of the old days made Spartans. Spartans were people who really didn't spend a lot of money, right? They were very cautious about their living. So, Spartan life is a life where you just live with essentials. While today's morality wants all of us to be, cyberites usually live in luxury. So it's a very clear tale that pehle people used to try and get kids to avoid excess, but now consumer civilization wants adults also to be spoiled, right? Let's look at options and questions. Which of the following cannot be inferred from the passage? तो आज की सोसाइटी पहले की सोसाइटी से, बिकॉज अभी तो अडल्ट भी स्पॉइल हो रहे हैं, राइट? So this is true. It can be inferred. So it's not an option. Is akin to a smell. That's what he says, right? You know, taking, you know, you keep moving your head from year to year. So this is also true, and hence can be inferred and not an option. Elders rightly suggested that a boy turning eyes from one was more likely to fall. No, this is not rightly suggested. This is the false reason given. The right reason is that you don't want to show excess. So 3 cannot be inferred. The right is the problem. Right? Okay, let's see about 4 and 5. Despite seeming to promise more, gives away exactly, yeah, this is true. So it can be inferred, it cannot be, right? Attempts to, this is also true, it is given. So answer is the third option. You want something false. In the phrase, in the passage, the phrase little parvenus. Little means young, chote bache, right? Who move ahead very fast. So first of all, it is not old hags. Midgets are short people, but we are strictly talking about kids. So it's not about people also. It can be foolish kids or young upstarts. That's what you want to say. People who are coming up rapidly. Okay, not people who are stupid. Right? Fourth option. The author pined for 2 cent quotes because it represented excess. It didn't make any diet sense. It represented excess, which is the same as intemperance. Intemperance, to show temperance is to show discipline, is to show that you are moderating things. Intemperance is absence of discipline, excess. So 2 looks good. It was more fun. No, that was not why the author liked it, because it showed excess. He was not a glutton, definitely. Visual appeal, perhaps, but if you go back and check between 2 and 4, it was for this precise reason that I yearned for them, because true ice cream suggested excess. Clearly बोला गया है कि वो precise reason है. Visual appeal, he speaks about it in the beginning, but that's not the precise reason, right? So answer is option 2. What does the author mean by nowadays the moralist risk seeming at odds with morality? So जो अभी पहले के moralist है, अभी का morality के साथ they will not gel. That's what it's saying, right? So the moralist of yesterday have become immoral without morals. कोई immoral का तो बात नहीं हुआ है, amoral का भी बात नहीं हुआ है कि the absence of morality completely, right? The risk with immorality has gone up. कोई risk का भी बात नहीं हुआ है. Purist view of morality is fast becoming popular. What is purist ka? What is a purist? In this passage, we don't know what a purist means. We know in life, but यहाँ पे कोई बात नहीं हुआ है. This is कि जो पुराने moralist है nowadays. So the concept of morality has changed, right? So looking at the second option. Fifth, according to the author, the justification for refusal to let him eat 2 cones, right? So actual reason is that their parents want to teach the kids something, some values. Didactic has to do with teaching. Dietetic has to do with diets. Dialectic has to do with the science of logical arguments. Diatonic has to do with tones. So something possessing 2 tones. Diastolic has to do with heart rates. So it is option 1, teaching. All these are clearly out of scope, right? Great, let's look at some para completions. Each of the following questions has a paragraph from which the last sentence has been deleted. From the given options, choose the sentence that completes the passage in the most appropriate way. Okay. Matanchari is Indian Jewry's most famous settlement. Its pretty streets of pastel-colored houses and home to the last 12 white-skinned Indian Jews are visited by thousands of tourists each year. Its synagogue, built in 1568 with a floor of blue and white Chinese tiles, a carpet given by Haile Selassie, and the frosty Yaye sale selling tickets at the door. All these are basically Jew symbol as an image of religious tolerance. So there's religious tolerance for Jews, right? मातांजलि represents therefore. ये therefore का कुछ तो reason, clear reason नहीं दिया है ना. Therefore नहीं होता तो you could have still considered. Of course, see, you just have the last 12, it's a home to these 12 people. You have a lot of tourists. Therefore, peaceful coexistence. Coexistence of what? We're only talking about Jews here. Correct? So, coexistence requires existence of two things. So, one is out. Have almost, so yeah, there is religious tolerance because Indian Jews have never suffered discrimination except for European colonizers and each other. So, two looks good. Jews in India were always tolerant. No, the thing is that having a synagogue, right, is tolerance. So there is tolerance towards Jews, right? So three is out. Religious tolerance has always been only a facade. This is clearly wrong. Nothing to, it goes against the peaceful context of the whole passage. Are thus very popular. वो तो already बताया गया. You're repeating it. Thousands of tourists each year, right? So 5 is out. 2 is best. 1 may have been okay, but there is a therefore and coexistence, correct? 2 is best here, 2 completes. Second one, given the cultural and intellectual interconnections, the question of what is Western and what is Eastern or Indian is often hard to decide, and the issue can be discussed only in more dialectical terms. The diagnosis of a thought as purely Western or purely Indian can be very illusory, right? So you can't really categorize thoughts that well, and it can be only discussed in terms of argument terms, right? So something can't be purely Western or purely Indian. Thoughts are not the kind of things that can be easily categorized. Maybe this looks good. Though Occidentalism and Orientalism, have found many adherents. What adherents? There's no people. We are not talking about who's going to adhere and not adhere. Has been a discredited notion for a long time. Again, nothing to do with time, nothing to do with East and West. Compartmental, they're saying it's not possible, right? There's a lot of interconnection. So 4 is in fact wrong. The origin of a thought is not the kind of thing to which purity happens easily. So 5 is also good. So it's between 1 and 5, guys. Now the thing is that I am talking about purely Western or purely Indian can be very illusory. So purity cannot happen, no. From this sentence, 5 is a much better continuation and completion than 1. 1 could have come before this sentence, 1 could have come here. But after pure के बाद cannot be easily categorized, जो थोड़ा बहुत यहाँ दिया गया है, right? It's a slight repetition. It could have been here, guys, but so best option because we're talking about purity is option 5. So great. I hope you all enjoyed this session. As usual, here's the puzzle for you. A whole number is called decreasing if each digit of the number is less than the digit to its left, right? How many decreasing numbers are there between 1000 and 3000, both inclusive? Please find this. And this is your reading material. Black Lives Matter pushes Japan. So a lot of reading material that I'm giving, guys, is very, very contemporary. There are things that can even come for your cat. So go ahead and read them, okay? And you'll see me next tomorrow morning when we'll do 2008 ka DILR questions. And of course, you can see me on Unacademy, guys. Go ahead, don't spend time. Don't. This is very little time left for the cat. Use it best. Please subscribe so that you can use all the numerous content. That is, some of it is free, some of it you can just, it's a very nominal amount for the plus also that we are asking for. And you have a lot of content, lot of educators, doubt clearing sessions. So please go ahead, subscribe. If you are focused on CAT 20, so you'd also look at XAT and other exam CET as well. I would advise you all to take the 12-month program. If you're confused between 20 or 21, then go for the 24-month program, right? You can use my code Munira10 to get a 10% discount. So great. I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.